The censorship of the entire internet is likely the biggest story happening right now, but if you only knew how bad things really were, you would be even more alarmed. But it's not all doom and gloom, there is some hope and there is also a ton of pushback as well. But I won't lie that this situation here is an endgame moment derived from a multitude of sources that many, myself included, have been fighting for a long time now. Let's just get into it, man, because there's so much to cover. Firstly, from Polygon, it seems like people are pushing back, as this article is titled, Visa and MasterCard are getting overwhelmed by gamer fury over censorship, as it states here. People are mobilizing with an eye toward overwhelming communication lines at companies like Visa and MasterCard in a way that will make the concern impossible to ignore. And yeah, this is real. I've already shared online, but here, I will share it here as well on screen for you all to see. Here are the phone numbers for Visa and MasterCard specifically based on various regions that you can call to voice your concerns to. And I can already hear some bootlickers saying doing this is harassment, and no, let me stop you right there. This is not harassment or bullying to voice your concerns towards a public company, especially one that owns the ability to censor your literal ability to pay for things in the world at large. So what Visa and MasterCard have allowed here is textbook example censorship, and they can try to mitigate the story around or say, we're just doing what companies are telling us to do. No, you're not. They're compliant. It's wrong. And people have every right to speak their minds. So please do just that. As more articles state, like this one here, hundreds of thousands of people backlash against internet safety rules, and it's very much this pretty much everywhere. Because people, I know this is crazy, but they don't like the internet being censored. I know, what a concept. But the reality is that worldwide governments are imposing their draconian power over their citizens in what is so clearly a calculated and strategized mass censorship campaign seemingly all at once. It's really not a coincidence that SteamItch.io and now all of this is happening as if they were dominoes falling into place, seemingly out of nowhere. This is happening because it's by design, and since me talking about this stuff will probably get me censored, maybe consider liking the video, or I don't know, leaving a comment and subscribing to help me hopefully not get censored as badly, because every little bit helps. Thank you very much. And so the ultimate goal here is to censor you from accessing the information you would need to form your own opinions and, be your own person, which governments don't like. Because instead, the governments of the world would want you all to be living like scared citizens hanging onto the every word of daddy government, like we're all living within V for Vendetta or something. And honestly, that movie now more than ever has become relevant again, since that's literally what's happening right now. For example, in the UK recently, they just confirmed that the censorship doesn't just end with the internet. Keir Starmer, the man who sold the UK to globalists, said, as it reads here at the Daily Mail, all new UK cars will have breathalyzers and black box style recorders under label plans to align with the European Union. So what does that mean for you? Well, nothing good at all. Basically, every single new car that gets created and sold in the UK going forward won't be able to start unless you breathe into this breathalyzer to confirm that you have below the level of alcohol in your system to drive. Yeah, this is normally just meant for people who are obviously alcoholics, not normal people who don't drink a lot of booze. But now, everyone in the UK will have to blow into their cars like they're living in 1984. And by the way, the black boxes, that's even worse. These are mandatory installations that cannot be removed or you will face jail time. And they're essentially small recorders so that the British government can listen in on every single conversation that people within the car are having. So, if you have wrongthink or you say something that they deem problematic or racist, even like a joke, not only will your car just shut off, you will be alerted to the authorities, you'll be arrested and thrown into jail, and yes, this is 100% true. I know it sounds fake, but it is true, dude. And I know it all sounds like some kind of Black Mirror episode, but it really isn't. This is real. This is what these people are now doing. This censorship is being pushed across everything, from video games to now cars, and it's all being done in these government people's eyes to protect the children. When in reality, it is not being done to protect children, it's being done to control free speech, and crack down on people that are being open-minded and force everyone into subjugation so that no matter where you go, You can't drive your car, you can't speak freely, you can't talk openly anywhere, you also can't even browse the internet if you want to, like nothing at all. The endgame plan here is to honestly control everything that you do and then mask it all behind progressiveness. This is one of the final forms of these government types. Eventually, if they can, they'll put chips in your brain too. That'll probably just shut you down if you have wrong think as well. Yeah, we're all just going to be living pretty much in Cyberpunk 2077, but somehow this is even more bleak. And I mean, have you actually looked at the UK's version of their Online Safety Act? It's draconian and also nebulous, that's on purpose, to ensure that they can throw you in jail for literally anything. And I know people will say, well, I don't live in the UK, so what does this matter? But if you look at the world and how rapidly this is all spreading, it doesn't really matter where you live, because this is coming for everywhere. Just look at what the act says is illegal according to them. You can't make content which targets someone's race, religion, or orientation at all. Or someone who has had gender reassignment surgery, they mean people who are trans. Bullying content is just a nebulous thing that I'll get back to in a second, but here for video games specifically, if you consume content that shows or depicts harm towards a human being, or even further down here to even a fictional creature, that content will be reviewed and banned in the UK completely if it goes against their laws. So what does that even mean? Well, in video game terms, it means basically any and all rated M for mature games are completely cooked under this new law. Because violence towards a humanoid-looking character, that is a broad thing. This means stuff like, I don't know, Resident Evil, your Dark Souls games. Hell, even anime games where you fight other people or human-looking things, it really doesn't matter to them. All of this is technically against their laws now. Anything that just depicts violence they don't like is going to be banned. So what then? Is Call of Duty then banned in the UK going forward as well? Like, are we being serious right now? Because you do shoot people in those, obviously, in case you haven't played Call of Duty before. But going further, that whole fictional creature thing, that's just ridiculous. So now what? If you fight, let's say, a monster in a game like Elden Ring or Bloodborne, that is now grounds for censorship too? Because you're harming this creature, I guess, in the game by hitting it? Because technically, even games like Stardew Valley then would also be banned. I don't even know if like Pokemon, especially Pal World, would even be allowed. Because Pal World, you literally shoot the pals with guns, which is technically violence against a fictional creature as well. So you see how broad and how far they're going? Why would anyone even want to live in the UK now? It's a complete police state. You can't say anything, otherwise your car shuts down. You can't play any games that feature anything beyond, I guess, hugging everything and kissing it on the mouth. And it won't be long till those black boxes just exist mandatory in every room of your home or on your phone. They would probably put a black box in your neck if they could too. And let's circle back to that claim that it's illegal to bully people under the UK's new act now too. Like, what does it even mean? Obviously, bullying would usually be labeled as you making fun of someone and causing them physical or emotional harm. Like calling a fat kid a fatty or making a joke, like if a fat person says obesity runs in my family and you say nobody runs in your family because you're all fat. Well, boom, you just said wrong thing, I guess, and now it's time to head to the gulag because you're a wrong thinker. But look here as it further states, for the purposes of subsection 5, content may in particular be bullying content if it is content targeted against a person which conveys a serious threat, is humiliating or degrading, forms part of a campaign of mistreatment. This is so vague, dude. This means that like 90 or 80% of YouTube content pretty much is going to be completely null and void under the UK's new Safety Act, by the way. Technically speaking, someone like Asmongold talking about whatever new controversy happens or the deluge of criticism that has rightfully been thrown at like, say, Pirate Software recently over like Stop Killing Games and all of that. That would be considered bullying or conveying a threat or as part of a campaign of mistreatment, according to this. Like I said, you know this is nebulous, because what it really means is that they can now label anything they don't like, any criticism at all, as liable for jail time or worse now. You can't legally criticize or say anything in the UK really to any capacity. Again, why would people even want to live there anymore? But this censorship is spreading fast. It's not just the UK. Sure, they are cooked pretty much, and honestly at this point, even if someone paid a full vacation for me to go to the UK, I would just decline. Because knowing me, I would probably make a joke somewhere and immediately get thrown into the gulag, so yeah, miss me with that, no thank you. But like anything else in this world, the last people you want to annoy or piss off is people who play video games. Because gamers, more than anyone pretty much, are some of the most in tuned, if you will, with the culture, so to speak, of what the internet really is. And when you inconvenience or threaten specifically gamers, yeah, hell breaks loose. There's a now deleted post on Steam's Reddit page, which is again censorship by the way, but at least the comments still exist. But some context. Pretty much, Steam players and more are clogging up the phone lines at Visa and MasterCard. Yes, I know, talking to a customer service rep is not going to change these companies' minds, but that's not the point. The reason why players, specifically, are clogging up the lines is simply that, to clog up the lines. By making it inaccessible to anyone else who has concerns, the goal is to, and yes, I understand this is 100% petty, but the goal is to cause these companies to lose money, customers, and business by doing this, as this comment reads. Don't just email, also keep calling. Emails can be ignored, but a very, very long queue making it near impossible for other clients to get in will help a lot as well. So yes, keep pressure on them, stay polite, and keep being an absolute thorn in their side. You may be saying, but isn't that just going to inconvenience normal people who have genuine, credit card concerns, I guess? Yes, it is. But you see, the point is to annoy these companies, disrupt their business, and force them to listen, because clearly sending them, like a bazillion emails, is just going to do nothing if they just relegate them to the junk folder. Because again, the only thing these companies really care about are two things: power and money. And you tend to lose money when your customer service lines are being submerged by thousands of annoyed Steam and other players. Plus, it's not like they're just sitting there doing nothing. I guarantee you that most of these players that are harassing Visa and MasterCard, they just have them on speaker on their phone while they grind in like a video game or do their daily missions or something anyways. But this pertains to that original Polygon article I spoke about in the beginning, that the governments of the world are about to find out what happens when they annoy a bunch of people who play video games. Because nobody can annoy, make SHIT posts, or turn things into chaos like that community. And this time at least, it's absolutely warranted, because censorship is gross. I don't care who you are or what you do, censoring others is never the game plan. Because if the only way you can win an argument or enforce your ideas is by blocking and censoring your opposition, chances are your ideas are awful, and you really only do that because you know deep down your beliefs hold no water when placed up against real scrutiny. You see, the censorship has gotten so bad that itch.io, the indie game website, has now gone out to seek for new payment processors. Because Visa and MasterCard are still pushing their censorship on the website, but as it says here, despite these ongoing changes, Itch's end goal is to simply age restrict even more content going forward, meaning they're willing to censor themselves and their customers even further, so long as companies don't leave them behind financially. So they're willing to bend over backwards and let the companies do whatever they want, as long as they don't, lose the money. None of this is a good solution because frankly, none of it should exist in the first place. But it's not just video games. Let's talk YouTube now, because that's where I work, in case you're watching this right now, and long story short, I might be getting screwed in the future too. Hooray. Oh man, okay, so for example, in Australia right now, which is one of my top countries that views my channel, they're going to be adding a new law to YouTube there, where an AI will monitor what people in Australia watch, and if the AI determines that they're under 18 years of age, they get their access restricted to YouTube. And since my content, like many others, is not made for children, and I do have viewers in the 18 range, this means that if you live in Australia, my content might just get blocked to you in the future. Wonderful. As if it wasn't hard enough to work with the YouTube algorithm and all the restrictions and everything else already. Hopefully you guys don't like watching anything that is deemed too childlike, otherwise I guess that AI will restrict you too. Don't you love it here? It's so wonderful. Oh, but that's not even where it ends, by the way. In Australia, at least, if you're 16 or under, you also just can't access YouTube at all anymore. Like, full stop. You can't once this law becomes fully in effect. So this means if you make content for kids, which there's a lot of channels that do that, you can pretty much just scrub the entirety of Australia off your viewer base. Not because you hate them, but because the government there is quickly becoming the UK as well. Oh, and don't think that Discord won't get in on this too, as this user whose post went viral shows, they made a joke about their age, and now their account is age restricted and blocked until 2027, because they made a joke about age despite being 30 years old in real life. Yep, that's a real thing. And the UK is, of course, pushing propaganda too that is leaked into seemingly everywhere. Here's Keir Starmer. I think that's how you say his name. Doesn't matter. Who cares? Anyway, he's a UK Prime Minister and he's with Donald Trump talking about censorship. And just watch this.
There are new powers here to censor your site, states mandated powers.
To censor my site?
To censor your site and Twitter
Truth?
and Facebook.
Truth,
I mean Truth. Is that okay?
Well, I don't think he's going to censor my site because I say only good things. Will you please uncensor my site?
Yeah, we're not censoring anyone. We've got some measures which are there to protect children, in particular from sites like sites. We've had too many cases in the United Kingdom of young children taking their own lives, and when you look through their social media, they've been accessing sites which talk about and encouraging, if you like, children down that road, and that is what we want to stop. There's nothing about censoring free speech.
But that treats all adults like
this
children.
This country is the proud.
But that can treat all adults like children.
Free speech in this country has been for a very long time. We're very, very proud of it. We will protect it forever. But at the same time, I personally feel very strongly that we should protect our young teenagers, and that's what it usually is, from things like sites. I don't see that as a free speech issue. I see that as a child protection.
Notice how Starmer claims that it's all about protecting kids? How is banning every single video game imaginable pretty much under your draconian laws? And then censoring Visa or MasterCard a good idea for free speech? Well, it isn't.
Free speech in this country has been for a very long time. We're very, very proud of it. We will protect it forever.
But the fact that he says they don't censor anyone is rich. They censor literally everybody that lives there and everything they don't agree with.
Yeah, we're not censoring anyone.
The UK government even responded to that over 400,000 petition signed rally against their censorship recently. How did they respond? Let's read it. I would like to thank all those who signed the petition. It is right that the regulatory regime for in-scope online services takes a proportionate approach, balancing the protection of users from online harm with the ability for low-risk services to operate effectively and provide benefits to users. The government has no plans to repeal the Online Safety Act and is working closely with Ofcom
we're not censoring anyone.
to implement the act as quickly and effectively as possible to enable UK users to benefit from its protections.
Treat all adults
Free
like
speech
children.
in this country has been for a very long time. We're very, very proud of it.
So they basically said, screw all of you, we don't care, this act is here to stay and we are implementing it fully even though you hate it. So just tell me something then, guys, and this goes for everything, not just games, but the internet, all of it. What is the point of a democratic society if said society does not listen or adhere to the people when they legally go through the system to voice their concerns? At that point, is it even a democracy anymore? I would say no, and the UK to me is basically just a real-life version of like Killzone or Cyberpunk at this point. That whole place is cooked, man. Soon enough, you won't be able to play, listen, watch, or even talk on Discord in the UK. Like, what a horrible state that entire region of the world has become. And like I said, this is coming to the US, and I said in another video, they already introduced what's called the Screen Act as seen here, which is essentially what is going on in the UK but being implemented in America. Make no mistake that this was all a coordinated effort to censor quite literally everything you can do on the internet in a very short period of time. Steam and such were just the canaries in the coal mine. Now it's fast spreading like a lethal cancer. Like, I live in Canada. How long until my free speech is completely cooked like in the UK? What then? Me even making this video then would be grounds to be thrown in jail. But they're also coming for VPNs, since that's one of the only ways right now that you can circumvent any of this really. As seen here, since these acts have become law across the world, VPN usage has absolutely exploded in use, and rightfully so. I mean, why not, right? If these companies and governments want to censor your content and age restrict everything using AIs and whatever else, this is really one of the only ways people can still use the internet normally. But again, in the UK, they're against it like everything else. And their government's lackeys are also urging people to not use VPNs, but just confirm your age instead. Here's what I mean. Watch this.
This is the biggest step forward in child safety since the internet was created. There is, since Friday last week, children and parents will notice the difference in the experience that children have. Most children do not go looking for harmful and dangerous and pornographic content. Most children actually have found that the content has come to find them. That's why we've acted so decisively in this. And for everybody who's out there thinking of using VPNs, let me just say to you directly, verifying your age keeps a child safe, keeps children safe in our country. So let's just not try and find a way around. Just prove your age, make the internet safer for children, make it a better experience for everyone. That's surely what we should aspire to in this country.
And they're even using children as scapegoats, again, to control your action, guys. That's all this is. It's not about protecting children. It's ultimately, at the end of this all, to remove anonymity from the internet completely. They want every post, every thought, every game you play, whatever you're doing to be tied to your real life identity. And they're using kids to suppress you is what is really happening. Well, like I said, it's coming to America too. So let's look at that now, shall we? As seen here, the Screen Act, which is being proposed to protect children from explicit adult content. And the goal of this act is to censor the internet abroad, which will affect video games, mind you, and the implementation of anything even remotely considered risque or prude as well. So, all of those Korean games or just Asian games in general that you like, too bad, they're probably going to have to be self-censoring themselves, just in order to be sold in America soon enough if this all passes. But as you can see, the overall goal is to censor literally everything to protect the kids. When in actuality, as you're seeing on screen, this will do nothing but censor everything for everyone else instead, including the kids too. Look, I can keep going on, but the truth here is that the internet is getting censored. These governments and companies are bowing down to simply keep Visa and MasterCard's money in places like the UK and Australia that are already becoming digital hellscapes, and now they're going to target America, probably Canada too, and then the rest of the world. I will leave links to a few things that you can sign or familiarize yourself with and read to educate yourself better on all of this. Look, okay, it's not over yet, guys. Have some hope. I know things seem dark now, but gamers especially are pushing back hard. So voice your concerns everywhere. If you want to call Visa or MasterCard, do it. Sign the petitions. Keep pushing. Do not give up for even a second. If you do, they win. But as always, thank you for watching. Subscribe to keep up to date. Let me know what you think in the comments and all of that, and I will see you guys in the next one.